Hello, good morning all. Today in this video we are going to discuss regarding how to install and set up Odoo 17 in an Ubuntu server. So currently in the screen you can see I have opened a browser tab and I have entered my IP address 134.122.17.35, and on trying to access that you can see the site can't be reached. So what we will do is that I have taken a droplet in DigitalOcean and its IP I have entered in the URL. As URL you can see I have entered the IP address of my DigitalOcean droplet. So inside the terminal here you can see I have already logged into my terminal SSH root at 134.22.17.35, which is the IP address I have entered in the browser. So currently the URL is not accessible because I haven't installed or set up anything. So what I have done so far is I have logged into my DigitalOcean account, create a new droplet with Ubuntu 22.04. That's all what I have done. Now what we will do is that we will install and set up Odoo 17 Community Edition inside that Ubuntu server. So if you don't have a server, you can directly go to Google Cloud or AWS or DigitalOcean and you can get a server, or you can follow the same method to install the Odoo inside your local system for Ubuntu versions. So if you need to get a free server, like if you don't have a server and if you like to get a free server with 200 credit, I have a method for you. Like if you sign up to DigitalOcean, you can get a free credit of 2200 USD. So I have already made a video on that and I'll be adding that video link in the description section so that you can go there, create account and get a free server of your own. So let's jump into our video and let's see how we can install and set up Odoo 17 inside this server. So this is my root user and IP. I already have logged in. So if you got your IP address and your password to log in, you can come to terminal and you can log in like this: SSH root, which is your username. You can enter IP, then hit on enter. It will be prompt for your password. You can enter the password. Once you enter the password, you will be getting such a screen. So we have logged into our server. So let's start the Odoo installation procedure. So in order to install, I'll be using the installation script of 𝐿. So if you log, I'll give this link in the description section. So once you reach the installation script, the first step you have to do is that you have to download the install script. So let me copy that and do that. So currently if I hit on ls, you can see I have only a snap folder which is coming from Ubuntu. Now I'll execute the command which I have copied, wget, that we are going to download the installation script. So if I click on ls, you can see the Odoo installation script has been downloaded for version 17. So you can follow the same method for any version like 15, 16, 14, etc. You just need to change the link. So right now what I have copied is for 17. Here you can adjust for your version like 16, 15, etc. Now what I have to do, let me open the file. If I hit on ls, I can see the downloaded shell script. Now if I enter sudo nano odoo install.sh, that is if I open downloaded file, you can see different parameters which I can modify. If I don't need to install 𝐻TML to PDF, which is needed for Ubuntu, I can adjust from here. Right now I'm going to run Odoo on the port 8069. My Odoo version is 17. If you are installing Odoo Enterprise, you should have access to that GitHub repository. Then you can change the parameter to true. Install engines. If you need to install engines, you can set install engines as true, which is recommended. You can set up install engines as true, etc. So right now I'm not going to modify anything, or yeah, I'm not going to modify anything. I'll keep as it is. Now I'll close the file, Control X. So we have downloaded the file. So step 2 is asking to, if you need to configure your website name, domain, you can adjust the parameters. Like you can open, like if you have a domain name, it should be attached to this Odoo instance. You can set up install engines as true. This has to be set as true. You can just edit and change to true. Then you can put your website name here. Website name equal to something like odoomates.tech. Similarly, you can put your website name over here. Then enable SSL true. If you set enable SSL true, it will generate an SSL certificate using let's encrypt. Now I'm not going to modify any of those things. Now the third step is to make the script executable. So I'll run this command, sudo this command. So the downloaded file will be an executable file. Then the next step is just to run the downloaded shell script. Now using this command, I'll initiate the installation procedure. I'll hit on the server and you can see the Odoo installation is triggered. Now what will happen is it will set up all the required libraries for Odoo. It will set up Postgres, like Odoo is running on Postgres. It will install the Postgres for Odoo. It will clone the Odoo source code and set up the Odoo instance, Odoo version 17 for you. So let's wait until the process is completed. You can see some, yeah, you can see it's running. And there is something called the following signatures could not be verified. I'll ignore that for now and let's see, or let's wait until the installation gets succeeded. So meanwhile, what we have done is I have went to DigitalOcean, created a droplet with Ubuntu 22.04 and I collected IP address and password for that server, and from my local system I logged into that server. So if you need to get a server, like if you don't have any existing servers and trying to get a server of your own, you can just watch our video and using our referral link you can sign up to DigitalOcean and get a free credit of 200 USD by which you can use test server, etc. Then coming to the Odoo installation script by 𝐿, you can download the installation script, modify the parameters as you want, then make the script executable and run the script. So once you've done that, you'll be getting Odoo 17 community up and running on your IP. Previously when we have entered this, it was not accessible. I just confirmed with the port number also. Both the result was the site can't be reached. So let's wait and see. So here you can see you will be getting information about what the process is going on the backend. It will be setting up different libraries, updating existing libraries, installing Postgre, installing Odoo, etc. In most of the cases, without any issues, you will be getting up and running Odoo instance, and in some cases, I'll be seeing the Odoo installation may get failed due to some missing Python libraries, etc. So we will see, like in case if we get the script failed, we will see how to make the Odoo up and running. Installing new version of config file, different thing. So either you can use the installation script or there is manual installation methods, but right now most of the case we are using the script, it's fine. So initiate with installation script, but at the back end, if you are a developer or something, it's always good to learn what happens in the back end of the script, like what else things are processing, etc. So let's wait for this. It may take around 5 or 10 minutes. So we will go back to the script and let's open the odoo install.sh file. So here we can see we can set 𝐿𝐻TML to PDF. This is a package used to generate PDF reports in Odoo, and here I'm setting the port as 8069. My Odoo version is 17, and by default is enterprise is false. For example, if you are trying to set up Odoo enterprise, like if you tick Odoo is enterprise as true, so whenever system try to clone that Odoo enterprise repository, it will ask for your GitHub user password. Like you should have access to enterprise repository, then only you can set it as true. Then I'm installing PostgreSQL 14. Nginx I didn't set. You can set Nginx as true, random password, etc. Long polling port, admin email. This is used to set the SSL certificate. If you're setting up website domain, you can change the admin email to your own email. Then the system will install different packages needed for Odoo, like 𝐿𝐻TML. You can see 𝐿𝐻TML is installing, then updating different Python packages. Then what else? If you go, you will see we are cloning, like we are running the requirement package from Odoo, like requirements.txt. There are a lot of Python packages needed to run the Odoo instance. Meanwhile, here I have to click on enter. And what else? Odoo source code will be cloned and Odoo user will be created, etc. And let's see, I have to input Y. So you have to keep an eye on here because it's asking for random prompt, like which user has to input something. I'll click on enter. Okay, installing Postgres SQL server. You can see we have installing Postgres SQL server. So Odoo is running on Postgres, like all the data will be stored inside the Postgres database. Installing Postgres SQL server. Enter Y, hit on enter. Still with Postgres, something it's going on. Hit on enter. You can see installing Python 3 plus pip. All the Python packages are getting installed. Like if you take the source code of Odoo, so this is Odoo source code, and inside Odoo source code we can see a file called requirements.txt, which is the Python packages required to run Odoo. So those Python packages are getting installed. Like all these Python packages will be getting installed. Click on enter. Let the process continue. You can see all the Python packages are collected. Now they're starting installing those packages. Downloading eBay SDK, downloading Babel, etc. is getting installed. So the process is still running. I'll give you a brief idea about how to set up the Odoo. Like in case if you are manually setting up the Odoo instance without the help of the script, what we need is, first of all, we need the Odoo source code, which can be downloaded from the Odoo GitHub. So first of all, we need Odoo source code, which can be downloaded from Odoo GitHub. Then we need to install and set up Postgres SQL. Maybe you can use 14 or higher, or version 12, 14, like Postgres 12 or higher. Here in this case we are using Postgres 14. So we need to set up Postgres, and we have to create a user inside Postgres. We need a Postgres user credential. So set up Postgres, create a user, keep the credential with you. Then we have to download the Odoo source code. So once the source code is downloaded, we have to run the pip like requirement.txt. So as I have shown, we have a file called requirements.txt, which is the Python packages needed to run the Odoo instance. So make sure that all the packages inside this requirement.txt is installed. So you can, like, if you are running manually, you can run like pip install -r requirements.txt, then all the packages specified inside this will be installed. So once installed that, what we need is, like we have done with Odoo source code, we have installed Postgres, created a Postgres user. Now we need to set up the Odoo configuration file. So inside the Odoo configuration file, we will be specifying the Postgres user details which we have created. So inside Odoo configuration file, we will be setting the port in which the Odoo has to be run, the database credential like db host, db port, db user, and db password we will be setting inside the Odoo configuration file. So that's all we have to do with Odoo configuration file. Then we have to create a service file. So like, you know, the server, like if it get automatically turned on, like turned off, and when we restart the server, we have to get the service up and running. So to run Odoo instance, we need to create a service. So inside service file, we will specify which user is running Odoo and which configuration file has to be taken, etc. And Odoo bin path we will be specifying inside the service file. So what we need total is Odoo source code, Postgre and Postgres user, install Odoo requirements, set up Odoo configuration file, and set up the Odoo service. So this is the information that we need while we are doing manually. Then you have to extra you have to install 𝐻𝐸. Even though if you didn't install, the Odoo will be up and running, but you will not be able to generate the PDF file. You will be getting a warning like the 𝐻𝐸 is not installed, so the report will be rendered in the screen. Like that you will be getting. So these are the steps you have to keep in mind while manual installation. So still our script is running. So hopefully everything will be fine and we will be getting an up and running Odoo 17 instance. And in case any queries, like if you have facing any issues during installation, or if you have any queries regarding Odoo installation, you can reach us in our email like odoomates@gmail.com. We have the social medias like Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, etc. Feel free to connect us at any point. Like whenever you face any issue in Odoo, like if you need any support, feel free to connect us at any moment. So we are happy to help you and provide you the support. So what else regarding that? Yeah, once Odoo installation is done, we have to set up the workers. Like we have to set up workers. If you install Odoo in a server, you may be facing issue, like you may be experiencing like a system is very slow. In such cases, you may have to ensure like worker is set up for the Odoo instance. If you didn't set up worker, the entire Odoo instance may be running on a single thread. So this single thread has to provide the support for all the users. Like we know Odoo is a multi-user system and different users can be accessing that system. So if you're running without workers, we will have only a single thread. So if you add workers, it will have multiple threads which can handle different incoming requests. So we will be facing much more faster Odoo instance if you set the workers. So already I have specified in the script file, if you set up engines true, then we can put in work in the configuration file, we can set up workers and get it's running. Now if you see, we have installed Odoo successfully. Installing Odoo is done. Custom module directory is set, adjusted the permissions. Engines isn't installed because we haven't specified. And here you can see starting Odoo server done. The Odoo server is up and running. Specification port 8069. User service is Odoo. Configuration file which I have talked is this path log file. So you can take a copy of this information. For now, I'll just take a screenshot. Similarly, once you're done, you can take this information for your later reference. Now what I'll do, as it says the installation is complete, let me refresh and see nothing happens. And here you can see at the port 8069 Odoo is up and running without any issues. So we have got an Odoo 17 instance up and running in a 10 or 15 minutes. So here you can see my super admin password is this one. I'll copy that and let me try to create my first database and ensure everything is fine. So I'll name the database as Odoo 17, email admin, password admin, load demo data, and country, let it be anyone. I'll click on create database. So I have initiated the database creation, and here it's specified my log file is inside var log odoo. So let me check my log file. So sudo tail -f Odoo server log, and here you can see the log is getting updated, the base module is getting installed in Odoo 17 database, and here it's running. You can see it's loading. So I hope everything will be working fine without any issues. So the first DB creation is successful, and let me log into my database, and you can see it's loading. Yeah, but you see the UI is coming as follows. So something wrong here. Generating your asset bundle. Something wrong with the file store. Let me refresh and confirm. Yeah, it's fine. Even though there was a glitch initially, it seems to be fine now. Now we have successfully installed the database. Like we have created a database. Now I'll initiate the installation of sales module, and I'll check the log. It's getting installed. So like, you don't stop at, if you like get a database manager, don't stop at there. Like as a developer, or if you're an end user, just create a database, install a couple of modules, and you have to see everything is fine. So here I have initiated the installation of sales module, and it's getting installed. So once sales module is installed, I'll print a report and see 𝐿𝐻TML is fine. So similarly, you can set up Odoo instance using the installation script and a cloud server. So if you have a local Ubuntu server, still you can follow this method to install Odoo. So in such cases, the IP will be localhost or 127.0.0.1. Similarly, you will not have a public IP address. So this IP address is public, and I can access from anywhere in the world. So that's the difference between a cloud server and a local server. So if it is a local server, you can access only inside that network, but if it's a cloud server, we can access it from anywhere. So the product module is getting installed. Now the sales module is starting. So in a couple of minutes, I'll have the sales application inside my created database. So you can see it's loading. That is means the sales installation is done. Now if I go to sales application, I have already loaded demo data. That's why you have some couple of records over here. And let me try to print the PDF code. You can see it's getting printed. So 𝐿𝐻TML is fine. Yeah, PDF is downloaded. Now let me go to settings. And here you can see we have installed Odoo 17 Community Edition. So if we come back to the server, so I'll stop the current log ls. So the Odoo is installed in the part cd/odoo. Here you will see we have Odoo server. Inside that we will have the Odoo source code. So whenever you have custom module, like we are set up Odoo, then you may have to use some third-party apps. So in that cases, what you can do, you can navigate to this custom, and you can place your custom modules inside this add-ons path. Inside custom, you have a directory called add-ons. Here you can paste your custom modules. The path is Odoo custom add-ons. You can put your custom add-ons here. then you have to restart your add-ons path, like restart your Odoo service. So what was the command to restart Odoo? After the installation, where it is, if I come down, we have received one information. Now before that, yeah, here, yeah, to stop the service we have to use sudo service odoo server stop. So after placing your custom module inside your add-ons path, we have to stop the Odoo server, sudo service odoo server stop. Now I have initiated the service to stop, and if I refresh, still the Odoo service is accessible. That means this is not stopped. Let me verify using ps-aux grep. Here if you see, the Odoo is still running, so I'll kill this process, sudo kill -9. Now you can see Odoo get unaccessible, service stop. Now I'll start the service, Odoo service, sudo service odoo server start, and now if I refresh, Odoo will be back and accessible again. Now let me confirm the stop command, sudo service odoo server stop, and you can see it has been killed. And let me initiate the start. So this is how you can start and stop your Odoo service, and we have shown you where you can place your custom add-ons. The path is Odoo custom add-ons. Inside this path you can place your custom add-ons path, and if you did not need to know where is your Odoo configuration file, it's inside cd etc. If you hit on ls, you will see a file called odooserver.conf. So sudo nano odooserver.conf, you will see this is your admin password to create database operation, port is 8069, and this is your log file, and this is your add-ons path. And if you need to adjust anything which you have to do inside Odoo configuration, you can come here. Then we will go to Odoo service file, which will be inside cd etc init.d ls. You will see a service called Odoo server. So if I open that, sudo nano Odoo server, you will see this is my Odoo bin path. My Odoo server name is Odoo server, and this is the Odoo configuration file I'm using, etc. So this is your Odoo service file. So I hope you got some information regarding the Odoo installation. By using the installation script, you can install the Odoo in a cloud server, and now you know how to add add-ons path, where is your configuration file, where is your log file, and where is your service file. I hope the video is clear for you. If you have any doubts, feedback or suggestion, don't hesitate to reach us over the email, that is odoomates@gmail.com, and feel free to connect us anytime at the social medias like LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. So that's it for the day. Have a nice day. Thank you.